For years, every major algorithm update and the recent explosion of AI chatbots has triggered the exact same industry panic. SEO is dead. Search engine optimization hasn't died. Instead, the underlying architecture of digital discovery has migrated from a retrieval model to a reasoning model. We have entered the zero-click reality. Retrieval systems output 10 blue links, while reasoning engines synthesize direct paragraphs. Instead of forcing manual extraction, AI does the heavy lifting instantly. The consequence is a steep drop in outbound click-through rates. This environment demands a new discipline called artificial intelligence experience optimization. It is the practice of structuring data specifically for machine interpretation. The primary objective of digital visibility is no longer achieving a high ranking from a sorting algorithm. The objective is ensuring an AI engine understands your content well enough to reference it as the definitive answer. Success in this environment requires a transition, moving the focus from the search engine result page to the machine's internal reasoning process. To understand this structural shift, we first need to map the mechanics of traditional Google search, which operated for decades as a link-based discovery model. In a classic retrieval system, a query enters a massive indexing filing cabinet. The system matches strings and outputs ranked links. Notice where the work happens. The system retrieves files, but the human user carries the entire cognitive load of evaluating those sources. Modern platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Grok bypass that filing cabinet entirely. They operate as generative reasoning engines, passing queries into a vast interconnected neural graph. Within this graph, the system evaluates semantic relationships, filtering sources based on contextual relevance and structural trust before synthesizing the data. Rather than handing the user a list of options, it outputs a single synthesized decision. In the generative model, the system itself carries the cognitive load, bypassing the evaluation phase for the human entirely. Because the machine evaluates meaning rather than matching strings, legacy SEO metrics like keyword density and inbound link volume lose their mathematical utility. The optimization target has moved. A strategy based on being discoverable must be replaced by a strategy based on being preferred by the AI. Legacy SEO was built for a world where humans made choices. Generative SEO is built for a world where machines make choices for humans. AI answer engines are the result of a decade of incremental algorithmic upgrades designed to systematically eliminate keyword dependency. The migration began with Google's RankBrain, which introduced machine learning to map ambiguous user intent rather than relying on exact wording. Look at how text is processed mathematically. A linear string passes through the RankBrain filter, translating into multidimensional intent vectors. Next, a BERT filter passes over these vectors. Glowing arrows map bidirectional context, demonstrating how surrounding words physically alter the mathematical weight. BERT forced systems to analyze sentences like a human, establishing relationships between concepts rather than isolating individual words. The catalyst pushing search beyond text was MUM, the multitask unified model, introducing true multimodal analysis. A final MUM filter passes over the structure. Icons representing images and video files merge seamlessly into the existing 3D text vector cluster to establish deep context. When data is evaluated against these multidimensional filters, exact match keyword targeting fails to prove relevance. Modern optimization relies on semantic entity mapping, connecting topics, ideas, and context into a readable structure for the machine. Because algorithms now evaluate multi-layered semantic meaning, any digital strategy relying on character string matching is mathematically obsolete. Generative engine optimization is the active structuring of your data to align seamlessly with AI cognition. AI systems evaluate brand data on clarity. Disconnected blogs, conflicting tags, and unoptimized images appear as a chaotic cloud. When a generative engine scans this disorganized information, it encounters cognitive friction, calculates a high risk of error, and assigns a low confidence score. A low confidence score results in the AI discarding the source completely to prevent hallucination or a poor user experience. To prevent this, you structure your data into intent clusters, building explicit geometric relationships so the machine doesn't guess. Semantic clarity drastically reduces cognitive friction. When the engine scans this cleanly mapped structure, mathematical certainty rises, triggering a high confidence score. Winning the zero-click future relies on removing ambiguity, so the AI system feels mathematically confident in selecting your data. AI engines face a constant risk of hallucination. To mitigate that risk, they rely on external trust frameworks to select one source over another. The specific calibration framework used to measure this source reliability is EEAT: experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. This framework provides a hierarchy of mathematical signals. The experience and expertise pillars map to actionable data inputs, like verifiable author entities and first-hand case studies. The authority and trust pillars require rigorous technical implementations, such as citation networks, schema markup, and secure protocols. Isolated trust signals, like a single backlink or author bio, are insufficient. Trust requires a cohesive, unified architecture across your entire digital footprint. When an AI must choose between two semantically identical pieces of content, a complete EEAT framework serves as the definitive mathematical tiebreaker. EEAT provides the exact mathematical calibration an AI uses to justify extracting your brand and embedding it in its generated response. The era of keyword stuffing and fighting for the #1 blue link is functionally over. We have made the leap from static indexing to generative intelligence. SEO has moved beyond sorting links to influencing how generative models synthesize information. Visibility is now built on semantic clarity, multimodal data structures, and the structural trust markers within the EEAT framework. This diagram visualizes a perfectly optimized generative engine interaction. A complex voice query enters, the engine generates a synthesized response, and a single source-cited link pulses prominently at the bottom. That pulsing link represents a brand that successfully navigated the machine's reasoning pathways. The brands visible in these zero-click outputs are the ones that engineered trust directly into the AI's internal logic. Ultimately, the zero-click future is determined by how accurately a machine can interpret, trust, and reproduce your data.